So, can you guys hear me? Yeah, I think you probably can. Um, yeah, I'm sorry about the problems, but I'm in. So, hi, I'm here. So, good evening. Heh. The arduous journey. Heh. Yes, okay. So, try this now. Try this. Yeah. Um, oh, yes, brilliant. Okay, is it loud enough as well? If it's not loud enough, let me know. I'll turn up the volume a bit. So I'm sorry about all the problems actually getting in here, but finally I've managed to do it. So let's start with a sentence transformation to begin with, or a double one actually. Oh, it's gone right down to the bottom now. It's not my day. Okay, so yes. Okay, so we're not going to learn pronunciation. Good evening, Vibes. Good evening, Aaron. Good evening, Roland. Good evening, Victor. Good evening, Manzul. Good evening, Amin, Vanya, WP, Arduous Journey. Hi to you, Count, as well. Okay, so can you see, yes, can you see this first sentence transformation? If I could choose, I'd prefer to go to London. And you've got to put the word rather in the space. Hi Kike, nice to see you. And the second one is almost the same. If I could choose, I'd prefer that you go to London. Okay, hi to Netra, hi Stan, great to see you. Yeah, people are starting to come in now. So, Vibes, very definitely, that's the first one. And what about the second one, Vibes? Good evening, Adam. Nice to see you. So we're off to a late start, but we seem to have managed to start. What about this this second one? Okay, good. That's good for the first one as well, Count. Now, notice the second one. The second one's slightly different because it's got this word you. Yes, Vibes, what I did was I scrapped the other stream because I just couldn't get it to connect. I don't know why. So I just made a new one. I'd rather visit London if given the choice. Yeah, there's a place called London in Canada. That's quite good. Good evening, Manjira. Good, Vitaly. I'd rather go to London. So what about this second one? Good evening, Abia. I'd rather go to London. Yes, Renyard, that's it. That's both of them. And that's the second one as well, Vitaly. Okay, that's really good. Okay, yeah, you all seem to be arriving now. This is good. You seem to have worked out that it's different, yeah? Huh. So, no, Count Beauty, that's the difference. So notice this, I'd rather go to London, but I'd rather you went to London. And that's the subtle difference with these two. Yeah, if you don't have a person in the middle, then I'd rather go. Yeah, whereas I'd rather you went. Okay, I'd rather he came. Yeah. Okay, so yes, not so Vibes. Both Vibes and Count Beauty. I'd rather you went to London. It's not a past simple. It's actually an imperfect subjunctive. Good evening, Funda. Nice to see you. So yeah, I'd rather go to London if given the choice. And then the second one, Manjira, you need to do as well, okay, which is slightly different, yeah, because it doesn't have the person in the middle. Okay, so yeah, we're starting to get a good group together here. Okay, so let's move on to the next one if we can, if it's going to allow us to. It seems to. Okay, yes. So, if your brother didn't work so hard, his family would starve. Okay, so yes, this is the idea. I'd rather go, but I'd rather you went. Yes, that's it, Mazaharul. That's a good name, Mazaharul. Okay, so if your brother didn't work so hard, his family would starve. 4. Were it working so hard, his family would starve. Let's see. Yes, let's see. I'd rather you go. You could, but my other question though is it I'd rather he go or I'd rather he goes? Yes, you can vibes, but if we want to do this properly and with good grammar, yeah, I'd rather he ate this. Okay. Were it for your brother? Were it your brother for working so hard? Okay, so firstly, you're going to need a negative there, Count Beauty, because it says didn't. If your brother didn't work so hard, his family would starve. And notice this were it at the beginning, talking about it, giving the meaning of if, yeah? Gives the meaning of if. So were it, and then, So, yes, this one's, wow, I think you're guy. Were it your brother not working so hard, you still need the word for as well, Kike, and the word order's not right. Were it that he worked hard, his family would starve, for the brother didn't work hard. Let's see, Manji. Were it not for your brother's hard work, your family would starve. Okay, Manji, what you've written is good. Look at what Manjira's written, because this is good. It doesn't actually fit the words here, but the structure is good. Yes, yes, and Vitaly has given us the right answer now. Yeah? I'd rather he spoke to me instead of texting me. That's good, Victor Gabriel. If it weren't for, yes, Tanetra. I don't think there's really any difference between I'd rather and I'd prefer. Yeah. So you'll have to try again. This is it, vibes. I mean, try again. Vibes. Were it not for him working hard, yes, vibes. That's it. Hello, Josh. Are you insinuating that you prefer face-to-face interaction, Victor Gabriel? Good evening, Aaron. Okay, were it not for your brother working so hard. That's good, Nora. That's great. Abaida, so you need were it not for. So let me put the answer in here. Were it not for your brother working so hard, his family would starve. Notice Tanetra. Here you can't use a contraction. Yeah. Okay. Mazharul. Were it not for your brother working so hard, his family would starve. Okay. So notice Tanetra. You need the whole thing. If it wasn't for, but were it not for, yeah? Were it not for, but if it wasn't for. Also, but for your brother working hard, absolutely, Vitaly. I think that's a very good example as well. Okay, so were it not for your brother working so hard, if your brother didn't work so hard, yeah, that would work quite well. Okay. Thank you. Yes, this is good. So, were it not for, if he didn't, were it not for the COVID virus, we'd all be extremely relaxed. Yeah, I'm still having problems sending data to YouTube, but well, more or less we're getting there. So let's look at the next one. Alan told his son never to touch the vase, and we want circumstances. So under this vase to be touched, Alan told his son. Uncommon in normal day-to-day conversation? Yeah, no, Victor Gabriel, people really do. Were it not for, I think it's just as common as the if. Yeah, okay. Were it not for the wonderful group of students I have, I wouldn't be making. Yes, that's it, Masado. I wouldn't be making. So let's see. Nora, I'm certain, has got this. Okay, you're still missing a tiny little bit, Nora. Yeah, you need an inversion there. So, so under no circumstances, absolutely. Had you not, exactly. Yeah. Were it not for, had you not done this, absolutely. Okay, Roland, you found the easy way out. Under no circumstances should. That's certainly. Okay, Count Beauty, I quite like your answer as well. Under no circumstances have you to touch this vase. Let me write Count Beauties. Under no circumstances have you to touch this vase. And where was the other one as well? Was Roland. Roland said under no circumstances should you touch this vase. But neither of these actually fit. So under no circumstances this vase should be touched. You still need an inversion. Wait a second. Abira. Yes, Abira. Very good, Abira Sakad. You've got it right. Okay. Yes. Well done. You're the first one to get it. And Amina's got it now. Yes. So, under no circumstances is this vase to be touched. So notice, firstly, under no circumstances is this vase to be touched. Yeah? Under no circumstances have you to touch. That works. And under no circumstances should you touch. But both of those don't fit in this. Yes. Oh, I like. Wait a second. That's very good, De La Sega. Under no circumstances ought this vase to be touched. That works very nicely as well. Okay, so yeah. Under no circumstances should this vase be touched. Under no circumstances is this vase to be touched. Yes, and Katya's got it right as well. Under no circumstances is that vase to be touched. Okay, under no circumstances. No, Aaron, you've got that word. So, Aaron, under no circumstances should you touch that vase or this vase. Yes, that's it, Roland. Under no circumstances is this vase to be touched. Konnichiwa, very good. Okay, so let's just try one more. Yes, this is a live stream. I'm here at it. Under no circumstances are you to touch. Good. And what if I say, Victor Gabriel? Under no circumstances this vase should be touched. Well, you can say it, Victor Gabriel, but it's not. It's not. The grammar's not right. The grammar's wrong. Okay, vibes. Yes, that's very good. That's very good indeed, vibes. Hair. Okay, close beauty, but you need a slightly different phrase. Um, to come to terms with is different. To come to terms with is to accept something that you don't really like. Yeah, to come to terms with, he took ages to come to terms with losing his job, Roland. Okay, under no circumstances should you travel alone. Sounds fine. I am on arduous good terms with so arduous journey, to be on good terms with. Cheyenne, good evening, great to see you. Yes, I'm on good terms with. Mazaharul, under no circumstances should this vase be touched. Good. I'm on good terms with both of Jack's siblings. Good, Kumar. Oh, thank you, Manjira. That's really kind of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I get on well. Yeah. So I get on well in terms of my relationship with both of Jack's siblings. Actually, notice we've got two different names here. This should say Kate's siblings. That looks better. Thank you again, Manji. That's really nice of you. I am on good terms with. So notice, all of you, to be on good terms with somebody. Yeah, to be on good terms with somebody. Yeah, so as Vitaly put it, I'm on good terms with. I'm on Roland, that's it. No, so to come to terms with is slightly different. It took him a year to come to terms with the fact that he had lost his job. Yeah, this is to accept the reality of something that you don't really want to accept. So, Aaron, to get along well with. To come to terms with is to resolve it in your mind. Yeah? I think now we are all coming to terms with the COVID virus. Initially we didn't know what to do. Yes, I'm on good terms with her in terms of business relationship. That's very good. That's very good, Roland. I'm on good terms with. Yes, we will be doing some phrasal verbs any second now. I'm going to do phrasal verbs with have. So these are quite easy. I think this is going to be the last one, Victor Gabriel, but I started a bit late. I didn't start until just after 10 past. So I think we've actually had 16 minutes of this, and then I'm going to do another 20 or so with have. Okay, so to come to terms with, but I am on good terms with. Yeah, so on terms is the difference. Can I say to adapt to or to adjust to? That's very good, vibes. Yes, exactly. Reconcile. I love that word, Vitaly. I'm in good with anyone in my job. Yeah, I'm on good terms with everyone in my job. I'm on good terms with both of Kate's siblings. Good, Abira. That's it, you've got it. Okay, so I thank you for reminding me, Victor Gabriel, because you know I tend to ramble on and on and on. Okay, so the first of our phrasal verbs is going to be to have at. So do any of you know the meaning of to have at? Once more, thank you, Manjira. I can't say how gratified I am. On bad terms with, on good terms, yeah, at odds with, yeah, yes, at odds with somebody, very definitely, vibes. Okay, so to have at, to attack, or to begin dealing with. A huge dish of food was served and we had at it. Yeah? I told I told my dog to have at him. Notice it's very common. Under no circumstances should you watch this video without giving it a thumbs up. It's great. Okay, so I told my dog to have at him. Or maybe, oh, I'm honoured as well, Manji. Have at you. Okay, so I told my dog to have at him. Yeah? Or maybe as a fight's about to start. Have at them, boys. I can see somebody shouting. Attack them. Like go at, to have at, to attack. Yeah? And then we use this metaphorically to begin dealing with. So we need to have at this pile of work that we've got. Yeah, if we don't have at it soon, we're going to have real problems later. They're fighting, they are seriously having at each other right now. That works very nicely, Tom K. And that's today's first example of the phrasal verbs. Under no circumstances should you let your dog no to have at the Prime Minister. Absolutely. Under no circumstances should your dog have at the Prime Minister. Okay, just that let with a to, Aaron. No let to. Let your dog have at. So, vibes, does that sentence have the same meaning? Yeah, I set my dog on them. Absolutely. Absolutely, vibes. It's perfect. Yeah? Okay, so, Count Beauty. It's easier to have at this phrasal verb with a literal example like a dog having at somebody. Yes. The cat had at the scorpion. You've got to get your have verb right, Katya, but the meaning is fine. A dog was having at me relentlessly. Wow, that's a real problem, Malsita, but it's a good example. His mother let the cats have at the mice. Good. No, that's a very good question, Kumar. It's to have at it. So notice this is inseparable. Yeah? So it's got to be have at it, not have it at. Okay, it's an inseparable phrasal verb. Thank you for that question, Kumar. That's a really good one. Okay, the Happy Mondays. His lawyer, he had his lawyer have at the prosecutor. That's a great sentence, Cheyenne. Under no circumstances can this vase be touched. That works as well. Have at, set on, Manzaharul. To attack, definitely. The siblings had at each other until their parents came to stop them, definitely. As soon as I bought the sweets, I shouted, have at them, dig in. Yeah, that's great, VG. Can we say the accomplices had at the poor man with a bat? Yes, you can, Aaron. That's a brilliant phrase. Nora, he had to have at her once, trying to uncover his past. So the her, it's fine, Nora. I'm a bit lost. He had to have at her for trying to uncover his past, maybe. Can an officer tell his soldiers, have at them, boys? Absolutely. That's the a great context for the sentence I gave. The kid wanted to try solving the riddle. I told him to have at it. Very good, Tom K. After the kickoff, the team has had at the rival goal trying to score. Yeah, that works great, Count Beauty. But the Gates, no. But that's just at one word. The Avengers are now going to have at Loki. Very good, Kumar. To have at. It's not the most common of phrasal verbs, but you certainly could use it. We had at this breakfast, we wolfed down the food because we'd been famished. Okay. Manjira, she was afraid that her teacher would have at her for being a truant. Great example. Do we commonly say have at, or is it simply state the action verb that the doer was doing? Yeah, you don't need to state the action verb. Attack something, to go at it, to keep doing it very fast, very hard. Okay, let's look at this have done with. To finish, to give up, or stop working on. So, let's have done with this silly argument. Yeah, we get rid of it, we put it out of the way. To end relations with. I had done with that unreliable supplier. Yeah, my girlfriend had done with me. Have at ye scallywags, every movie with a pirate. Yes, that sounds great, Joshua. Yeah. Yes, definitely use it in an IELTS test, Husky. It's showing your wonderful use of phrasal verbs. Cut to the chase and tell your boss that you have done with his reprimands. That's a great example, Cheyenne. You finished with. You're not going to accept any more of these. Good evening, Malia. Okay, I should have done with our relationship. Yes, that's fine. Yeah, to have done with something. This is one of these causatives. Yeah, Elon Musk had done with the Bitcoin. Yes, absolutely. He got rid of it. He didn't want it anymore. Yeah, so we have done, or we have had done with the phrasal verb have at. Done away with. Yes, exactly. Jual's the fool. I love the name. Yeah, done away with, do away with, have done with. We need to do away with it. We need to have done with it. Yeah. I did away with that unreliable supplier. I had done with that unreliable supplier. Yeah. Let's have done with the chores before we have the belligerent neighbour. I love it, Manji. That's great. I have had done with 3 people this year. That works fine, BG. He had done with that sweatshop after getting peanuts for his hard work. I love that sentence count. Good evening, I wanna. Wonderful to have you. He had done with the rubbish. Absolutely. Wag. I've never heard wag used as play truant. Yeah. A wag is maybe a funny person, somebody telling jokes. So I'm not very happy with wag as truant vibes. The student had done. Well, the student has done his homework, but notice the student had done with his homework. The student had done with his homework, Tom K. Okay. Okay, finished is just finished. When you have done with something, you're glad to get rid of it. Yeah, you'd rather not have to do it, but it's something that you have to do. Yes, absolutely. I wish we had already done with college. That's a great example, Kike Martin. Okay, let's have done with this country before the trouble. That's great, Katia. Have done sounds more like a present perfect. Okay, yes, but it's not. Yeah, I had done with several companies this year. That's fine. Good, Renyard. The child had done all his homework. You need the with, Katia. The child had done with all his homework. Okay, the ghosts have done with scaring people at the cemetery. Yeah, they're not going to scare any more people. Okay, the next one's really easy. To have in, yeah, to allow in, to give admittance, to invite. have the next candidate in. Shall we have the next candidate in? I had the plumber in. We had the next door neighbours in and gave them a few drinks. Yeah. We had yeah. Okay. We had a comedian in last week in our club. Okay. So yeah, I had done with my debt. That's very good, Malsita. And okay, good night, Raju. I know it's really, really late in India. Yeah, we're probably getting up towards midnight. So, Vitalia, any chance of doing away with cheating in football once and for all? No, there's no chance of having done with it. Speaking of which, I'm on Raheem Sterling watch. Hopefully he doesn't trip himself tonight. I hope he ends up as the man of the player of the tournament. Yeah? Okay, Victor Gabriel. I had done with the chores. What must I do next? Good riddance. Yeah, that's the idea of have done with, evolvement. Okay. Yeah. Yes, you see, you're all very dedicated, Raju. Rumour had in there. So the teacher had the students in, so that's Bhikkhu Pandi. Yeah, absolutely. He told the students to come in. If someone's not home, should I say they aren't? I would say they aren't in. In says present vibes. They aren't inside implies maybe they're outside in the garden. Yeah, they aren't inside, maybe they're in the garden. They aren't in, they've gone out. He had a stranger in, and then regretted bitterly, lose the about, Renyard, and then regretted his decision bitterly. They had the infected in, therefore causing the entire quarantine zone to collapse. That's very good, Aaron. The hostess's hospitality led her to have the guests in ceremoniously. Works fine, Cheyenne. We had a criminal in the street of my town. Okay, but that's slightly different, Katia. Yeah, we had him in. If you invited him to, we had a criminal in our house. We invited him. I had him in. I had in him. So I had him in. Separable. Thank you, Tom K. That's a great question. Keep hammering me about this. Is it separable or inseparable? If you have guests in, make them feel at home. That's very good. I'll have some friends in or over. Both are fine. There's no difference, VG. I had all in my pocket. Okay, I guess that works. Slightly different, but yes. The interviewer had the next interviewee in. Good, Bikapandi. That's great. Yeah. So to have someone in, the guards had the imposter in, therefore allowing the kingdom to crumple. Yeah, I reckon that works. I like that verb crumple as well. Who'd invite a criminal to their house? Another criminal? The boss? An insane killer? A masochist? But it's a good question, Victor Gabriel. I was meant to have some friends in to my party, but it was called off because of the corona status. She had all in her head. Okay. 0 degrees. 0 degrees, Raju. It needs an S. After much persuasion, the management decided to have in the new demands of employees. I think generally to Netra this is more physically to have something in, yeah? Okay, to invite it in. And Abira, the municipality had the health workers in last month to do the vaccination. That's great, Abira. I mean, they have the players in the stadium. Okay, they have the players in the stadium 1 hour before the football match. That definitely works I mean. Okay, so the next one, to have it in for. To have a grudge against. To intend revenge against. My boss really has it in for me. So, for this one's definitely for Vitaly. The crowd really have it in for Sterling. Yeah? They really think he's not a good bloke. They're loitering around. Should we have them in? That works very nicely, Tom K. She's had it in for me since I spilled ink on her desk. That's a great example. Yeah? The teacher's got it in for me. The teacher has it in for me. Yeah? So to have it in for somebody, you always got to have it in. So I feel that these people have it in for me. Yeah, they have a grudge against me. They're really angry with me. I have it in for my ex-girlfriend as she ditched me. That works very well, Bikupandi. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so to have it in for somebody, to be angry with somebody. Okay, and then we'll have the next one in a minute. So, it's not good to have it in for students. England have it in for Italy in the football match. Absolutely. Absolutely, I mean. Notice no the England, just England. Yeah, so to have it in for somebody. The police had it in for the jailbreaker. Yeah, they're probably going to beat him up when they catch him. Yeah, to have it in for, to have a grudge against, to intend revenge against, to dislike strongly. Yeah, to be very angry with. Yeah, the woman had it in. Normally you have it in for somebody, had it in for everybody because she did all the housework. Yeah. I'm for Fortunato. That's very good, Cheyenne. Yeah? Yeah, he did have it in. What's this? This is one Roland likes. Very definitely. To have it, no. You have it, no. Okay. So, in this second one, let's see. Let's try Funders. Alex has it in him to teach English. So, let me write this one here. Alex has it in him to teach English. Okay. EMGLISH. Good. Okay. Kapil Sharma has it in him to make people laugh. That's very good, Bikupandi. Malsita. Isn't there an idiom like it takes two to tango? It means if you want to fight, then two people need to be willing to fight. Yeah? You can't fight with somebody who doesn't want to fight, and fight not necessarily physically, argue or something like that. The Grudge is a horror movie. I'll try watching that. Fair enough, given he's constantly playing the old soldier. I was so mischievous at school some years ago that the headmaster really had it in for me. Yeah, the teachers had it in for me as well, VG. England has it in it to win the final. That's a very good example. England has it in it, the team has it in it to win the final. Yeah? So to be able to do something, to have the capacity to achieve, you have it in you to be a great musician. I know all of you have it in you to be very good speakers of English. Mukhtar, I think he had it in for me for ages. Good example. Manji, I reckon Shylock had it in for Antonio when he signed the bond. Absolutely, Manji. Great example. His splendid performance indicated that he had it in him. In him, not himself. just in him, Cheyenne. It's a great example. Yeah, his good performance showed that he had it in him. His class was so funny, I didn't know he had it in him. That's really good, Victor Gabriel. Jesus had it in him to be a great person. That's good, Aaron. And, Calvestras, you have it in you to become a dexterous keyboard player. Absolutely, Calfesas. And Kike, attendants to this class have it in them to love the English language. Absolutely. Tanetra, the child is showing all traits to have it in her to be an actor. That's a great example, Tanetra. Okay, we're almost there. Yeah, so yes, to have it in you. Malsita, it means you need two hands to make a piece of bread. Quarrels don't happen with one person. That's a nice definition, Bikupandi. Okay, Katya, she had it in her when she drank the juice. Yeah, I guess so. Vitalia, I was surprised when they won. I never knew they had it in them. That's great. And the next one, to have it out with. So to argue in order to air or resolve a conflict. So notice, to have it out, intransitive. To have it out with somebody. I've been unhappy about her behaviour, and last night finally we had it out. Okay, it's not in with, out with. To have it out with, to confront someone with a view to settling the conflict. So I'm not standing for this. I'm going to go and have it out with her right now. So this is to talk about the problem, to meet the matter head on. Yeah, it's best to have it out with people if there's something that you're not happy about. So, Tom K, ever since they told her she had it in her for calculations, she's been having at the old math books. That's a great example, Tom K. So, Stranger, I'm glad you love my channel, Just a Stranger. So, Aaron, Jordan Peterson had it out with the crowd to prove his stand. That's a great example. He had it in it to be a deft storyteller. That's a lovely phrase, Renyard. In The Lord of the Flies, Jack constantly had it out with Ralph. Yeah, they were resolving the conflict. Yeah, because, well, Jack had it in, I think Jack had it in for Piggy, yeah? So, Aaron, under no circumstances should you have it out with the customers, because customers are always right. Okay, I guess you're right there, Aaron. That's a perfectly good sentence, yeah? So, we need to have it out. We need to have it out with each other. We need to resolve this problem. I had it out with my father last night over my career issues. That sounds great, Bikupandi. And have it out with somebody. Absolutely. That's it, Mazaharul. Have it out to ameliorate. No, to confront, Renyard. Yeah? So if there's something you don't like that somebody's doing, you have it out with them. You tell them directly you don't like it, and you see what happens. You clear the air. So, Shahul, despite losing in 4 finals, Messi never gave up and had it out against Brazil today to win the Copa America. Very good, Shahul. She's made him dad, and I'll have it out with her. Okay. And Vitaly, one of the teachers, had it in for him. She shouted at him all the time. Good, Vitaly. They decided to put back the issue and have it out post haste. They decided not to put back that issue and have it out post haste. I love the sentence, Count Beauty. That's great. Aaron, in order to ameliorate the situation, we had to have it out with the opposition. That works very nicely. Okay, we're almost there. So, yeah, after having it out with them, everything became peaceful again. That's very good. Yeah, so to have it out with someone is to clear the air, to clear the situation, and everyone knows what's happening, knows what the situation's like. Yeah, okay. Now the next one, to have on. So there's this English meaning of to have on, meaning to trick or deceive deliberately, to play a prank on. Are you having me on? Are you joking? Yeah? My friend's always having me on, and most of the time I believe him. Yeah? He's just joking. He's pulling your leg. He's having you on. To be wearing. Yeah, she has on a nice red shirt. What have you on today? And then to have turned on an electronic device. I didn't hear you because I had the radio on. Okay, have it out with the captain, or else see you on the gangplank. I love it. Or the pirate of Aaron there. And Manjira, I'd rather he had it out with that long neglected issue. Okay, but out with a person. I'd rather he had it out with me about that long neglected issue. So Manji, you need to have it out with somebody. Yeah, it needs to be somebody. I think you could have out have a problem out, or have out a problem. Yeah. So I think I'd rather he had out that long neglected issue with me. Instead of continuing with the resentment, she had it out with him. Good, Abira. And Calathesias, she's deaf to have it out, have it out, so she's deaf at having it out with people who offend her. She's deaf at having it out with people who offend her. I'm having myself on. Yeah, you're believing you're tricking yourself. We very often have ourselves on. That's unbelievable. You must be having me on. April Fool's Day is when the British have people on, but in other places it's the 28th of December. I had my hoodie on at the party. Good, Victor Gabriel. I was wearing it. To have on, to play a prank on, to trick or deceive. Good, Mazaharul. I had the radio on, so I couldn't hear anything. She had on such a dress that she remained a cynosure at the party. That's really good, Biku Pandi. After staying at home for almost a month. No, but the daily cases are still hanging so high. Am I having myself on? That's a great example. She always has some bizarre accoutrements on. That works very nice, Count Beauty. Tom K. A friend got me to have on a funny hat. Little did I know he was having me on. That's a double one. You must be having me on. Absolutely, Mazaharul. Yeah? He's having you on. And then the very final one, this one you all know. Must, meaning have to, meaning must, need to be required. You have to wear a seatbelt. You have to do this. But I'm sure this, yeah? So have to, talking about must for obligation. You have to do it. You must do it. The big brother had the nation on with pompous and insincere speeches. Okay, that's very good. I had on my sisters. So I would normally say, yeah, I had on my sisters. That works, Katia, very definitely. Yeah? It's very funny when you have your sisters on. And then, as I said, this last one, have to, must. You have to wear a seatbelt. You have to do the work. You have to obey the law. Will this live remain on the channel after you finish? Yes, it will. This one will be published. Don't worry about it. This one you will be able to see. But notice as well, just a stranger, the chat that people write doesn't normally appear until about 24 hours later. I don't know why, but YouTube take an age to actually include that in the video. To have on, to have to have got to, absolutely tonkay. So, Aaron, under no circumstances should you have on Key and Peele, because you can't. Okay, I'm sorry, we had a brief disconnection there, but at least it was a brief one. So notice have to is because I want to do it. Must is someone saying you must do it. It's an obligation for you to do it. You have to drink your medicine to keep your good health. Good, Katya. The deputy claims that sheriff had to act by the book. Good. Good evening, Mr. Minated. You have to touch the vase in order to activate the thief alarm. It's a burglar alarm. It's on. Okay, yeah. You have to put the mask on if you go out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, time to stop. Oh, we've got so vibes. The police were called out as the party hosts had in lots of guests that there had been an accident from one of the visitors who often used to have it out with the house owners and in the past, and had